thing. Black people from Africa, Caribbean, and South Asian heritage are 3 times more likely to have high blood pressure compared to any other race. So if you take the white race and you measure us against them, we have 3-folds of having hypertension compared to them. The reasons for that, we will explore that in the subsequent slides that I will get to. Currently, just last 2 years, the data says 62,000 people die from hypertension-related stroke, heart attack, or heart disease, okay? This is a fact, and this is proven. And also, we do have some complications, which majority are related to poorly uncontrolled high blood pressure. Some of them include renal disease or kidney problems. The reason is because your kidney is quite delicate. Inside your kidney are billions of tiny little blood vessels we call nephrons. And as the pressure goes high, those little blood vessels, they burst and they scar. And when they scar, that kidney doesn't work anymore. Now compare with the fact that black people tend to be very poorly hydrated anyway, and you have high blood pressure, that's a recipe for disaster. That's why when you walk into the dialysis clinic, the people you see in queue are black people, one after the other in queues, because we never look after our kidneys due to dehydration and due to poorly controlled blood pressure. Second is vascular dementia, which we know very well. Very high blood pressure eventually will lead to some damage at certain parts of the brain that process cognitive function and muscle control, and eventually you have early onset dementia, purely because you haven't looked after your blood pressure. And our men, this is the scary part, erectile dysfunction, okay? Inability to get it up when the need arises. That is because your blood pressure is poorly controlled. So for our women, we know most African men do not like to access healthcare. If you realize that it's not happening as it should, that should be the alarm to prompt your man to get his blood pressure checked or to go and see his GP, because that is the warning that most people decide to hide away. So what exactly it is? The heart is a pump, and the job of every pump is to pump fluid around the body. So in this case, your heart, which is roughly the size of your clenched fist, if you put it on your chest, it's slightly tilted to the left. So everybody, if you make a fist, that's the size of your heart. Okay, so your heart is the size of your clenched fist. It sits here to the left, and the job of every pump is to send fluid around. And in this case, that fluid is the blood. And the heart sends it into your arteries. The arteries eventually carries that to your main organs, your heart, your brain, your kidneys, and also your liver, etc. So when we say high blood pressure, purely what it means is the pressure between the heart when you go boom and the blood vessels that carry the blood, the pressure is too high. The pressure that is exerting on it is too high. And a classic example that I can make is if you view your heart or your blood vessels as this pen, which is a tube, the pressure that the fluid is going through this pen is quite high, it's quite intense. So there are 2 things that this pen can do. It can either stretch to accommodate the pressure, or if it cannot stretch, it will pop. Those are the 2 things it can do. It may try to enlarge, or it may pop. Again, we will explore those as we get down the line. And I've talked about the fact that it's a silent killer. The key things I want to stress out here is, most people don't have symptoms for it, but in some weird cases, you may have certain symptoms. So if you realize you're feeling dizzy quite a lot, when you're getting up particularly, you feel dizzy, you feel, most people say, I feel giddy. If you do that, please check your blood pressure. Number 2, if you keep having persistent nosebleeds for no reason, okay, every here and there your nose is bleeding, you want to check that. The reason is because tiny, delicate blood vessels in your nasal cavity, in your nose, that can't cope with that pressure. They keep popping here and there, and that's where you're having a leakage of the blood. Number 2, some people have headaches. Okay, why are you having a headache? Because as the heart pumps, the pressure of the blood is like how you drive your